Coffee makes me so damn happy.
I've given up coffee for Lent.
And I've given up everything. So I only have coffee and I've only been drinking coffee and water. I have my 3 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
Water. And I've been trying to be into it, for a change. Just trying to commit and so far.
I saw a very funny meme the other day that was like, for Lent I'm just giving up. Giving up. That's what I'm doing for Lent.
I am.
And I kind of was like,
yeah,
this is a very wise person.
Yeah, it sounds legit. I'm just giving up. Just leave me alone.
I've given up coffee. I mean, this is like the most difficult thing. And
I don't know why you've done
other
that.
people have just given up. I do it every year.
Coffee.
Because you are supposed to suffer. And I suffer. It's not that I drink a lot of coffee.
No.
But I have 1 cappuccino every day.
Coffee.
And it's a very important coffee.
I don't know.
And it's like,
I get it.
Like the devil is very much alive because everything I've done in the last 2 weeks has revolved some way around coffee. Like I went to a creative briefing the other day and the guy's like, do you mind if I just, and just all of a sudden there's an espresso machine like in the boardroom.
I just got, there's this new, it's the Jacob's Douwe company.
Yes.
That are making these new Nespresso pods. So the pods for your espresso machine. So they came and dropped off a whole ton of those. And not bad.
Nice. So they're compatible with your machine as well. Okay.
So they work in the Nespresso machine. Because I love Nespresso. I'm a machine in my bedroom and a machine in the kitchen because I'm just like, you can't be walking downstairs if you need a coffee urgently, you know what I mean? So,
wow, so you like basically a hotel room?
No, that is for the, yes. No, absolutely. And then it's on a tray like it would be. It's set up, my helper's going to reset it every day.
Do you have the biscuits in the plastic packet though?
I'm not allowed them. I would have them, but I'm not allowed them. But it was also because of that morning show. So when you're waking up at like crack of dawn to go downstairs, come back up, so literally wake up, make the coffee while I'm thinking, and Nespresso had like a special, so it doesn't even count.
Okay.
They weren't special, but I do have, that's a problem. It's a problem.
Well, listen, I can't be staying over as a guest in your home, in the spare room, and smelling that coffee coming from the bedroom in the morning. I'll actually be devastated.
I'm trying to think if I'd feel bad. No.
You probably wouldn't.
No, not at all.
The reaction that everyone gives me is, why? Like, you did it, so you must suffer.
Me, I'm just like, you must be just grateful enough I let you into my house.
Yeah.
I'm still grateful about smelling coffee.
Like a heathen.
No.
An absolute heathen. Are we live? Are we? Hi, guys. So we're talking about sleepovers at Jason Goliath's house when he's got a coffee machine upstairs.
I have a coffee machine in the bedroom just for emergency coffee because although we love spilling the tea, the only thing more important than spilling the tea is a morning cup of coffee. I have to be honest.
No, listen, we spill the tea, drink the coffee.
I can cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I can cheers. No, I'm just like, I'm all for tea. And in honesty, I don't drink tea, not because I don't enjoy tea, but because my brain is set up in a very weird yet simple way. So my brain goes, every time somebody offers me, they go, would you like some tea or coffee? Coffee is my favorite without a doubt.
Right.
So my brain goes, why would I choose my second favorite if my favorite is in the mix?
Is an option.
So then I just don't even, so then tea is just not even an option.
Yeah. So tea's become a very big option for me.
Why?
Not just because of SPILT T, but because of giving coffee up for Lent.
Yeah.
But I'm having a problem at the moment.
Tell me.
Because to make tea, you require a kettle, water, and the all-important...
You require first world things.
Electricity.
Power.
Electricity. And there is nothing that I love more, even when it's not Lent, to make a cup of tea and get in front of my laptop and start writing. I almost can't write without tea.
I'm surprised you don't have gas, number one. Okay, because gas is like the secret.
I mean, I could boil tea on the stove.
But I could totally see with one of those old school fancy, those expensive kettles that don't have a plug. Those that go on the gas, they whistle. Yes. I could see, and I feel like you'd enjoy it as an experience even more. I feel like you're not even going to need electricity. By the time we're done with this chat, you're going to be like, you're going to be over electricity.
So I actually need to get one of those because I do have a gas stove. But like, how long does it take to make tea on the stove? I've never tried.
It's actually pretty quick. It's probably 30% longer than the kettle.
And has it got that whistle that like...
You can get the expensive one. You got to get the one with the...
Yes.
I like the water to get excited, you know what I mean? If the water's not whistling at me, it's not...
And you get those like see-through ones that go blue or red.
No, those are the electric. You need like a Le Creuset. How do you say it? You know how to say it.
Le Creuset.
Le Creuset. Some people say
Very
La Crozette, where I come from, and
No,
the price
it's
is
a
the same.
silent
I can
T.
tell you, they don't care how you pronounce it in the shop. They charge you the same amount of money. So stop telling me how to correct it and correct the pricing. That's the first thing. But it's like, so you get one of those, it goes on the top, and it feels fancy, it's nice and romantic, you can enjoy load shedding, you'll be fine.
Very nice. I once went into La Crozette.
Yeah, La Crozette. We're going
La
to say your name
Crozette.
like that from now on. La Crozette. Yeah.
And I was in the market for a salt and pepper shaker.
Yeah.
Said special. And I was like, wow, do they ever have specials?
Yes.
They're great. 900 Rand
On special.
on special.
Salt and
I
pepper.
I mean, beautiful salt and pepper grinder, salt grinder.
Electronic guys, or like, because for
No, you
900
got
Rand,
it.
I don't want to be
900
still
Rand.
using my own.
But you know what? It's a little bit of arm action. It was fine. And I thought, you know what? 450 each. I'm okay with that. Till I got to the till. And it was 900 Rand for the salt and 900 Rand for the pepper on special.
Was there special salt in the thing?
No, it was empty. It was
So
actually
you're not even
empty.
giving me like some
No.
Arctic pink.
No, not Himalayan, blessed by the monks salt. It was actual. It was
La
actually
Crozette.
empty.
You guys are taking chances with
No,
us.
La Crozette.
No, for real, you're taking chances.
So then I had to have a fictitious phone call. And
Oh, at the job.
I'll be back.
I'll be right back. You can carry on. I just have to. I know that phone call
Yeah.
all too well.
Because I was like, you know what? It's beautiful, but I'm not spending 1,800 Rand on
On
a
salt and pepper
set.
that were on special.
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
You need to
I was
restrict yourself
not,
a bit more than that.
Yeah, but I'm definitely going to look at the kettle because, listen, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all of you are feeling nervous, terrified. There's some kind of terror in the air. We were just chatting about it. What is happening? South Africa is in darkness.
You know, my good friend Sylvain Gessie posted a little story the other day that I thought kind of really highlighted what the problem is. So Siv said, imagine that 10 years ago, Eskom were given a new car, right?
Yes.
Then they drove the car at 180 kilometers an hour, 24/7, 365. They didn't check oil, they never serviced it, they just put petrol and smashed it. Then the car broke down a few years ago, and then they asked for money for parts. They were given money for parts, but the money for the parts mysteriously went missing, but they continued driving the car at 180 kilometers,
Right.
365, 24/7. Now the car's broken and the money's gone, and who is left to pay once again? Us, dear tax-paying
Taxpayers.
South Africans. So the darkness is here to stay. If anything, I think it's going to get worse. So then I'm just like, how do we bulletproof ourselves? So now I've got all of these little charging units to keep my phone going because that's the most important part. I'm investigating like either a generator or one of those other battery operated, what do they call them?
Inverters.
Inverters to invert the current. I don't even know what that means.
So what an inverter does is an inverter inverts the current for
Yeah.
specific things. So, I mean, I've got a friend who's got it on 2 lights and the TV because that is their priority.
That's all I need.
Load shedding, you need the lights and you need TV.
I mean, I'll even take one light, Wi-Fi and TV. I can sacrifice a light.
Listen, the data story is also another thing. I'm on 3G all the time, and we were just saying, and maybe you've noticed it too,
Yeah.
why do we lose signal when there's load shedding?
towers.
It directly affects the towers. So
Everything is affected.
we are on 3G, but we don't really have
No.
signal.
No, nothing.
We've got no lights. I mean, I'm okay to be in candlelit, romantic, working vibes. I'm sure the writers of the 1800s did that. But if I can't make tea,
Then we have a problem.
then we have a very big problem.
So gas is going to solve your tea making
Right.
problem. If La Crozette doesn't give you one after this, then I
Yeah,
actually
La
don't know why
Crozette,
we said their name 20
this is for
times.
you, and I've
So
got a hair on my face.
La Crozette, you better give us a thing. But a top tip is this: you can now go and get, you know, those fancy squiggly like light bulbs, the energy saving ones.
Yes.
You can get an energy saving light bulb that has a little battery built in. So when you plug it in, it's going to give you light, but it's also going to charge while the electricity is on. And then it comes with a little remote control, and they're pretty cost effective. When the lights are off, you can switch it on with the remote control, and it will use the battery to power the light.
Ah, okay. You see, this is very clever.
Very clever little tool.
We were saying, though, that one thing that you have to be in times like this is because, you know, everyone's going, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
never used to be like
Ah.
this. They look backwards,
can't.
they're saying, laugh,
Just
wait, close your eyes. I actually
absolutely
can't.
My favorite South African line ever.
Favorite South African line. But we have to be adaptable, because if we're going to look back over our shoulders and say, 3 months ago we had electricity, we didn't have this problem. We're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
But let's adapt. Let's buy these things. Let's boil tea on the stove. Let's get a little fire going in the garden.
It's
maybe
not even a motivational
stainless
speech
steel
anymore.
pot. No.
It's a reality speech. It's either be in the dark or get prepped for light.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's a simple choice. But let's speak about something a little bit lighter than the darkness, if we may. Please bring up. Let's speak. What up?
Let's speak about how's your week been, because you were a bit late this morning.
I was a little bit late this morning,
You know,
but
everyone's blaming things on load shedding.
It was load shedding.
It was load shedding.
It was.
Oh, was it? What happened?
I went to hire a car this morning, and the card machines use the same towers as our cell phones, and they were load shedding. Could not process a transaction.
Oh, gosh.
Then I had to wait. Luckily, they have power for the phone, authorization.
So when you get a rental car, like what do you do? Because I always go for Group A. Group B, power steering, air conditioner.
So
those are mine.
I have a rule. If we so as a business we have a rule. If we're staying in the city, then exactly that. Group B, so a little Ford Fiesta or a Toyota Corolla, automatic. We like air conditioning, power steering, great. But the second we've got to travel more than an hour, just like as a safety thing, then we get that other,
you know
that other group.
Yeah.
You know that group. Then we get that group. So I'm going to Lekkerland in Dalstroom today to perform, which is going to be great. Lekkerland Festival on tonight and tomorrow.
Nice.
So among all of the music stuff, they've also got a comedy room, and I'm doing some comedy there with Alfred Adrian and a couple of other comics. So I think that's going to be in English. Lekker in English. Okay, it's going to be lekker because everybody says, but you're coloured. Surely you should speak Afrikaans. And then I go, yeah. Firstly, my parents are from Durban, and Durban, my mom speaks Zulu, not Afrikaans. Like her second language is Zulu. Afrikaans she struggles with. And even though I grew up in Joburg, I can speak Afrikaans. Ek kan maar praat. Ek kan net al praat, maar as die mikrofoon aangaan, dan val die Afrikaans uit. Dan is dit sommer load shedding. Dan load shedding Afrikaans. Yeah.
You know what my thing is with Afrikaans is I can learn Afrikaans. I mean, I studied at Tux.
Yeah.
Totally in there with the Afrikaans, although for 3 years I pretended I couldn't speak Afrikaans just so that I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And also that I could tell if people were gossiping about me.
That's
Wonderful social skill.
That's very clever.
And then I'd just, clap back when I heard them.
For schoon my, I can totally say.
Excuse?
Excuse? Yeah, I can see you rocking an excuse.
Excuse. Very dramatic hair flip. But my thing is that you can learn something in another language.
Yeah.
But God forbid, and it happens, the lights go out, there's power, there's a power cut, something happens, and now you must ad-lib in said language.
No. Forget about it.
It's not going to happen.
Forget about it. So I don't know if you know this, but with stand-up, and particularly with my style, I try to kind of be very loose regarding the strict structure of a set, and I'm far more the guy that likes to be conversational with the audience and allow things to go where the audience would like to go.
Which is one of your strong suits. You read your people and you give them what they want.
And react accordingly. But sometimes it means kind of going through your virtual filing cabinet of gags and bits.
Without making your eyes go back and seeing smoke coming out your
ear. In English, no problem. I can be telling a joke while going through the filing cabinet and be pulling out no, yes. But in Afrikaans, nothing.
Finished. So Lekkerland is going to be lekker, but in English.
Absolutely.
Okay, amazing.
Absolutely. So I'm off to Lekkerland in Dalstroom with my wife, because of course we're still honeymooning.
Wow.
So my wife is going to be.
And what about your babies?
My babies
not actual babies, but fur babies.
Lily and Lola, the little. I call them my lesbian Dachshund puppies.
Oh wow.
Only because they will never see a penis in their lives.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is family-friendly content, but it's the truth. Leave my Dachshunds alone if you have a Dachshund. My Dachshunds are. So Lily and Lola, and they're going to be babysat by my wife's sister, because she has a big Dachshund, so it's like a Dachshund. It's basically like boarding school.
Is she coming to you,
or
no,
they go to her?
Okay.
But it's like boarding school. They come back house trained. They come back with manners. It's amazing.
And then you unlearn all of that stuff until they go back.
Very quickly, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I've got to put. Do your dogs sleep in your bed?
Only when I'm not home. So I don't allow it. I don't allow it. For me, they've got their own bed downstairs. They're going to sleep downstairs. My bed is a sacred space. But I do find evidence of them being in my bed whenever I've been away and leave my wife alone. And then she's like, no, they just popped in the morning. Which I know is a lie.
Yeah.
But if she feels safe and happy, I can't really fight with it. So we cool.
Yeah. You know what? I feel the same about a bed, and I actually read an article a couple of days ago about not letting people, and I don't know if you've ever thought of this, but not letting people sit, or including you, sitting on your bed in your outside clothes. Now, let's just unpack that.
Okay.
You've been wearing these clothes.
Yes,
okay?
the whole day.
You sit on a chair in a restaurant that's possibly not been cleaned in a while. Okay? You sit on, I don't know, the backseat of an Uber, for example.
You sit in dirty places where other dirty people have sat.
You sit in dirty places. You sit in a change room, possibly. You sit on a bench in a shopping centre.
You sit on a fancy chair in a fancy kitchen.
You sit on one of these chairs, for example.
Yeah.
Okay? So you pick up all kinds of free radicals, all kinds of dirt, all kinds of stuff.
Well,
and then you sit on your bed. Because my favorite thing to do is when I'm exhausted, I go home, and if there's electricity, I make tea. But I like to spend a moment on my bed. Just exhaling, just reflecting. So I don't let dogs onto my bed, but I go onto my bed in my outside clothes.
But now surely we can have the protective layer with your duvet cover, and then so not inside. So you're talking about anywhere.
On top, just on top.
I don't know.
It's not inside. It's on.
I don't know. I'm trying not to think about life too hard.
Yeah.
And I think that. So for me, I'm just the type of guy that goes, look, I try my best to look after my personal hygiene. I wash my hands as many times a day as I can. Every time I play with the dogs, I wash my hands. You know what I mean? So I try to be as hygiene conscious as possible. But the second you let it start controlling you and start stressing about unnecessary things, because let's be honest, the chances of catching something from this chair transferred to my bed are incredibly. You know, I watched Trevor Noah once say, guys, I get it. You know, you got kids, you got whatever, you got to be security conscious, but don't act like it's going to happen to you all the time. Put in the measures and then forget about it, because the odds of it happening are 1 in a million. So just remember it's 1 in a million. So be the Nicholas Nicolai, as I say, he always goes, be the silver lining, don't be the cloud.
Agreed.
Be the silver lining, and that's exactly it.
We are the silver lining.
Yeah, I try to look after the necessities, try to make sure, try to be responsible, but be the silver lining.
But you know what? I think we've got so much to worry about not just in South Africa. People globally have stuff to worry about.
Everybody.
But we are highly stressed people without even knowing it. We are perpetually stressed.
I think we're angry. I think that the world is stressed. Then I think that South Africans have been in this crazy 25-year period now, where a lot of people haven't expressed their anger because it's socially incorrect. So if we think about what happened in South Africa 25 years ago, all the rules changed in one day. So the way you were allowed to express anger, who you were allowed to be angry with, the way you were allowed to engage with anybody, all of that's changed. So what happens is a lot of swallowing. So a lot of people have just been swallowing for 25 years, just swallowing. So road rage is crazy at the moment. You were telling me a story.
Oh my gosh. Literally, I'm not even in the wrong. Another thing that happened to me, South Africans don't understand traffic circles.
No.
It's just...
No, we just don't.
And maybe we should look at phasing them out.
No, maybe you should stop buying your licenses. Go and do the thing. K53, one step at a time. Blind spot, mirror, blind spot again. You're buying these things. We see you at traffic circles. I'm sorry, that is just a personal note. The views of Jason Goliath are not necessarily the views of Taryn Louch or SPILT T, the podcast. They are my personal views. Should you have a problem, please send me an email at jasongoliath.co.za. Thank you. I'm back. I'm calm now.
But just a very simple thing to know is you give way to people coming from the right.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yes, you yield for the left, right of way for your right.
And it's easy.
Simple.
Right of way for your right. Right. Very easy. I nearly got taken out by this massive Mercedes-Benz this morning.
The worst.
And what I love is the guy was in the wrong, but he just gave me the finger. He was going wild in his car. And I thought, if you'd done K53, you would know.
You would have been this guy. Because also, and I got to say this, in South Africans' defense, we may be angry and we may be road raging, but all everybody wants is just an acknowledgement of fault. So if the guy just went, sorry, that's all we want. The anger's over.
I would have waved.
The conflict is done. But because he does that fancy wave with middle fingers, now we're fighting.
And I'm like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. But you know what?
Yes.
Between road rage, between all of that kind of other stuff, there is the sweeter side to life. So the last time we caught up,
Yeah.
you were very newly married.
Yes. I still feel like I am. Still in the
Kind of in
honeymoon.
honeymoon phase.
Still honeymooning it.
You've also been doing a big fitness challenge with Dan Nickel.
I have, and I hope you noticed that I'm a lot thinner than I was.
I can really see.
I've
How
lost
much have you lost?
So not much. Not
Okay,
much.
how many centimeters have you lost? Do you
7
know?
centimeters.
That is huge.
That's huge. Yeah.
That's it.
So I've
Is
lost-
that one clothing size or two?
I've lost 7 centimeters. It's a clothing size and a half.
Clothing size and a half.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
so
take
you're
it.
not going to love what I'm about to show you, maybe in terms of watching your waistline, but you got to see this. Come
My
and have a look.
my spidey sense is tingling because there's sugar. There's sugar close to me.
There's sugar close to
I can
you.
feel it.
Let's
I
take a
can
look.
feel it. Let's have a look.
Hello, Faaiza. Oh my goodness, I'm good. How are you?
Hello, Faaiza, the kitchen model.
Here is our kitchen model. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say is these look small, so I don't think you're going to pick up a lot of weight by by indulging.
But what is it? This is it.
Okay, so this is the Madeleine. It's a French little kind of a cake that you serve with tea.
With tea.
Yes,
Yes.
like
When
tea
there's
time.
electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like afternoon tea, they would serve this in France.
I like that in Bloemfontein you can have tea with Madeleine, and in France as well. I like
Yes,
it.
me
Yeah.
too.
exactly.
Maybe in Delstrom. Maybe
Probably.
you can pack one of these for
Madeleine
course.
is definitely coming to Dalston.
Yeah.
Okay, now you told us earlier that there is something very specific about a Madeleine.
Okay, so
And let's look at them. They need a
this
hump.
Yeah. So if it doesn't have a hump, then it's not a Madeleine. Then it's just a normal little
So how do you
cupcake.
get it to
So
have a
every
hump?
single one has a hump.
Yeah.
So high five on that. Very
Okay.
nice.
Okay, so basically it needs to rest in the fridge for like 3 hours after you mix your batter.
Okay.
Then you have to actually freeze this tray before you put your batter in. So
Why is that?
I think it's just to react with the temperature in the oven. I don't
okay.
know, but I always freeze it. And it always needs to have baking powder.
On the tray.
No, in the recipe.
In the
so
recipe.
you get some recipes without baking
And is that
powder.
that self-raising what?
Yeah, well, it helps it
Okay.
rise.
Okay.
So
Okay,
and
but how
also
does
the
it rise
quantity.
just in the middle?
Yeah, I think it's the quantity of baking powder.
Okay.
Because if you put too much, then you'll get the whole Madeleine like expanding.
Yes.
And then obviously a little will just be in the middle.
So are we just gonna tease ourselves?
No,
or,
you're gonna taste it. So this is the orange blossom.
Yeah.
Orange
Ooh, I love orange
blossom
blossom.
is basically like a flavoring that's Middle Eastern and also Mediterranean.
Nice.
I'm Mediterranean.
Yes.
You're Middle Eastern.
Yes, so that works well.
You can join us.
And North African
I'm sure if we
and North
look-
Africa as
I love how you
well.
look Australia. North Africans are also welcome. Because I look very North African. It's my beard. It's my beard. But North
So
African.
basically, this is a very distinct flavor and it's quite nice. You can taste it.
So can we make it with lots of different flavors?
Yeah, so you can make
Okay.
it with honey. Traditionally, it's honey or
I
lemon.
want to take a smell
I
of
just
this
feel like I want
orange
to
blossom.
dip it, the whole thing in chocolate. I just feel
Yeah,
like-
you actually can.
Can
So
you?
you can dip it in
Ooh.
chocolate.
I mean, that smells like a beautiful flavor.
Well, you can
does.
just dip like half of it in chocolate and then sprinkle nuts on. You can also put some lemon zest on. You can flavor it with orange. You can flavor it. You can also use pistachios in. So there's
I
a lot
love
of different
pistachios.
things.
So let's just pretend.
And rose as well.
So pretend I had an emergency. I called you and I'm like, listen, my guests are arriving in 30 minutes.
No.
I need to make Madeleines.
No.
There's no way?
No, then they'd probably just be cakes. They wouldn't have the hump.
But unless you can you freeze the batter?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so
Sure,
9
I've never
minutes to
tried
bake.
it.
So that's
Okay.
cool. If your
No,
guests are coming in 30 minutes.
So what do I need? What else do I need? I've got a frozen baking tray.
Okay,
what is
so-
in the mixture in the fridge?
So basically, it's quite simple. It's not
Yeah.
a difficult batter to make. It's melted butter,
Yeah.
baking powder, cake flour, then obviously your flavoring. So it would be
Yeah.
lemon zest or orange blossom or rose,
Okay.
whatever you're using.
Cool.
Cake flour and egg.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it.
So now, what if we wanted to make this as a, because we're doing the weight challenge, we're watching the waistlines. What if we wanted to make this as a healthy option? Could we?
I wouldn't.
Just but
don't-
No,
Don't
well, you
insult
can make
Madeleines.
it so tiny.
No,
Like,
but
why
I'm going to
does
start
that
using
make a
margarine
difference?
instead of butter. I'm just like,
Okay.
stay away from them. Use
I
it for
feel
a
like
cheat
it's
day.
such a small.
It's very
serving.
small. Okay.
And some things are so
one.
religious. Some
Just
things
have one.
we must not try and go
Yes,
to the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Because then it
Just
won't be a
give us
Madeleine.
Thank you.
It will be
Thank you.
like.
Okay, so
Okay.
there's the tea, guys. Madelines, Madeleine, however you say it,
Madeleine.
French, North African, Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, are a lovely treat. They are a quick, bite-sized piece of absolute
I can't
heaven.
wait to-
Jason just can't
so,
even wait to
I'm
tuck
dozing.
in.
I haven't had
I
sugar
can
in
see
3
And they're quite easy to make as well. And they look so pretty.
They do look beautiful.
They do.
And is this a specific Madeleine tin?
So it's shell shaped.
Okay.
And it looks
Beautiful.
pretty.
So can I taste one?
Yes, of course.
You're
Sure.
going to be our taste tester.
I'm gonna have the smallest one, which is this one over here.
There we go.
And I'm only having the smallest one so that my wife sees that I tried. Baby, I
Are
came
you
here with
eating
willpower.
healthy?
I'm just gonna
He's trying to eat healthy.
Okay, we need to hear.
fluffy and delicious.
And
I
you
get
get
that
the
flavor
orange
coming through
blossom.
it back there.
Blossom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very
Delicious.
subtle.
You feel posh. You feel like you want to eat it with one finger up. You really feel
All
like
you
you
need
want
now is
to.
your teacup to go with it.
Exactly.
Oh yes, well done. If you're not
it
busy
makes so
tomorrow, maybe you
easy.
can.
Yeah, you can just take the whole tray home. Okay.
Thank you very much. I
No,
might.
you cannot take the whole tray home. You can take one for pot course en route to Delstrom, and the rest we will enjoy here.
Yeah. You share the calories.
So
so
it's a
good.
lovely weekend
so good.
recipe idea.
Yes,
You're having some
definitely.
friends over. We've seen today the weather's taken a slight dip. So
good. Do you want
this
to
with
have
some
another?
hot tea.
I'm not allowed another. And one. I want to see Taryn eat one, and then
This
my
was some- this
my
was
life will be made. I want to see her digest sugar. I've never seen her put anything carbohydrate, not even one. Even that lipstick, sugar free, Baba. Sugar free. Even the lipstick, not one. I want to see. I want to see. Let's watch. Let's
Listen,
come.
one thing is true. Spilt tea may be sugar-free, but it's definitely not spice-free,
Somebody
right?
comment, Taryn, eat the damn cake. Just write it
Yeah,
there.
eat the cake.
Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Come on, I ate it.
I'm not going to do it on
I
camera.
ate it and
No,
broke
no.
my cycle. Let the internet win. We don't empower. The weather is
Okay, she's gonna
overcast.
have it after.
I'm going to have it afterwards with my tea.
I'll make
That's
sure.
what I'm going to do.
See how come people
Have it
stick
afterwards.
together. They sabotaged me. Nobody protected me. Nobody protected
She's
me.
gonna have it just now.
I moved the tray from you. I moved the tray from you.
Fine. Cheater.
Well, guys, that is it for this week's Spilt Tea. Thank you so much for joining me. What
Thank you
fun
for
in
having
the
me.
kitchen.
Thank you for having me and thank you for doing this.
And we're gonna share the recipe as
Yes,
well.
we are going to share the recipe so that you can create it for your friends, your family,
For tea time.
tea time,
Yeah, so good.
Jason.
They're so good. If you are South African as I am and you're struggling to say Madeleine, just say Matala. People will know in French. They'll know exactly what to. Yeah, I want Matala with tea. Thank you very much.
And I think as a load shedding precaution, we need to bake some of these, pop them in the freezer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good
And have your
idea.
inverter connected to your microwave or your oven
we'll
so you can
just-
just
yeah.
heat them up. There we go.
Or don't do any of what Taryn just said. Eat brown bread and peanut butter during load shedding. Save this for the light. Don't play games.
And whilst you've got power, guys, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch the podcast. Let us know what you think. Give these two a follow. Jason Goliath, the Stylish Baker. Where is your bag? Because before we sign out, I need to see. This is how you need to bake
While
in
she's gone,
2019.
there's nobody that comes out of the kitchen with hair and makeup like that.
Yes,
You
of
don't
course.
believe
All
it.
with this.
What
all
are you
with this.
baking and mixing with GHD on one side while you are staring?
That's why I'm the Stylish Baker.
Guys, we don't
Here's,
believe her.
here's the
Don't
Stylish
feel
Baker.
pressurized.
This is the Stylish Baker.
That's incredible.
Right?
Lies.
This is what you
Lies.
really do need to make this recipe,
I woke up
ladies
like
and
this.
gentlemen.
Yeah, like straight from France.
And exactly, straight from France. Très bien, très bien.
See this? This is the real oil here. This is the truth about life. This is
This
not
is
the truth.
highlighter.
Don't believe this. Compare yourself to this. Cholesterol coming out of my forehead. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Salute and away.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me.